Hello, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name's Kyle, and this is just going to basically be a story time about the time that I realized that I'm bisexual. So let's get straight into it. There's basically, I would say, about three, maybe about just different instances here and there that have happened over the course of my life that I have had time to reflect on and realize that, okay, yeah, I'm bisexual. So let's get into it. Let's first and foremost talk about. So I'm an adult now, so I process things differently versus when I was a child and the way that I processed things when I was a child. So I was sexually assaulted when I was a child. More than once by a female, and the female was always an older child. So it was never an adult female. It was the female had always just so happened to be an older child. And around the time that I was a child, I was under the age of 10. So and when you're that young and just under, like, I don't even think I was 8 years old yet or something like that, but it did happen over the course of time, constantly and repeatedly, when I was just alone with this said person. And so now that I'm an adult and I realized what was happening, because as an adult I do process things differently, looking back, it's like, okay, this is what was going on and this is what was happening. So as again, I was sexually assaulted by a female that was also a child, but she was just older, and it was not the same person. It was two different people. So the first person that I was ever sexually assaulted by was an older child. She looked like she could have been between the ages of 12 and 13. That's just what she looked like to me at the time. And while it happened when I was a child, I could have been maybe, I don't know how old I was, but I do remember what happened and what transpired. And I was living in an apartment complex at the time with my mom, things like that. And so, to keep a long story short, it happened on a stairwell, and it just so happened that I was outside alone, and I was just sitting outside on the stairwell, just, because my mom allowed me and my sister to go outside or whatever, and we went outside and we went our separate ways and we did our own thing. And she told us, what time to be back inside and that kind of thing. So we would always be back inside at that time. So around this time, I'm outside, I'm alone. Don't remember how old I was. I just know that I was a child at the time. And I was sitting down and I was chilling on like this little stairwell, and it was just like a back way. Like, it's kind of hard to explain, but it was definitely a back way to where no one would see me. And I was just sitting like on the staircase in the back way, and I was just chilling until it was time to go inside, because it was a nice day. It was really sunny outside and stuff like that. And so this random female, like I said, she was in the between the ages of 12, 13. That's what it looked like to me from observation. But when I was a child and she was doing what she was doing to me, I did not understand what she was doing to me. I only understood that, okay, this feels good, this feels great, so I guess there's nothing wrong here. But now that I'm an adult and I've processed everything that happened, it's like, no, you sexually assaulted me and I wasn't able to consent. And so I'd look at it like that. And that was just one instance where it happened. So my first sexual experience was with a female, and it wasn't consensual. So moving forward to the next instance where I was sexually assaulted again by another female that was a child as well. She was just an older child. And, it just so happened where she this individual is actually, you know, a family member and things like that, and I don't really have a relationship with this family member to this day because of that. So it would be instances where we would be alone and we would do sexual things with each other. And mind you, I'm a child. I'm very young, dumb, naive, and I'm not sure what I'm doing at the time. Like when you're a child, you just do what you're told, kind of thing. And so that's how it was for me. Like, you know, at the time, she was, you know, my older cousin. Like she was an older female cousin, and I just did what I was told. And so, as a child, me doing what I was told, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just doing what I'm told, not understanding, oh, she's having me perform sexual acts on her and things like that. So, and this happened for quite some time because, you know, she's a family member. She's just an older family member, and she's a child as well. Mind you, she's a child as well. Like when I was sexually assaulted by females, it was never a adult that did it. It was always an older child. Keep that in mind. So, fast forwarding to being sexually assaulted on numerous different occasions by this family member who is my cousin, who is also a child. She's just an older child. There were instances where she had me perform on her and she performed on me as well. And I'm just doing what I'm told here at this time. So, fast forwarding to now, all of that happened around the time I was in elementary school, and then fast forwarding to when I got into middle school, I I started to connect with people and connect with people on like a friend level in a sense. And this is around the time that I actually started to date females because this is what I was exposed to at a young age, and this is what I was just genuinely exposed to at a young age due to the sexual assault that I had experienced on numerous of different occasions with female children that were just older than me. And so, with that being said, and this happened like in elementary school, and then once I got to middle school, that's when I actually started to date girls and things like that. And then I also realized there was this one instance where I was interested in this one girl. I won't be mentioning anyone's name, but I was interested in this one girl at the time, and I realized, yeah, I really am bisexual, not only because of the past experiences that I've had due to the sexual assaults on numerous of different occasions that I experienced, and me being exposed to this type of, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but this type of sexuality, me being exposed to it at a young age, it really influenced my mind as I got older and as I progressed into the adult that I am now. So, like I said, I process things differently now that I'm an adult, but back in middle school, I realized, okay, I am interested in girls. There was this instance, and mind you, in middle school, I was no longer being sexually abused or assaulted, whatever you want to call it. I was no longer being touched by older females and things like that. With that being said, I was branching off at school and making connections with people and making friendships with different people, males and females, and I found myself being intellectually and emotionally and spiritually connected to this girl. And so when she wind up telling me that, hey, I'm bisexual, and this is in middle school at the time. At middle school, she told me that she's bisexual and things like that. And I kind of strayed away from her because the household that I grew up in was just more so very religious. I mean, very religious. My dad's side is very Catholic. My mom's side is Methodist and Baptist. And just overall growing up in a very religious environment they kept instilling in me that, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Mind you, my family to this day, they don't know that I've been sexually assaulted and things like that. And they don't know, just things like that. But they did teach me through religion that, you know, being this way is wrong and this, that, and the third, but I can't help who I am and what I am based off of what I experienced within my childhood. So that's just that. It is what it is. But that's the type of household that I grew up in. And so there was this girl that told me that at the time in middle school that, hey, I'm bisexual. And because we were really vibing. I mean, me and this girl, we were really vibing. We were like that. We were vibing like that to the point where we were spending like lots of time together. And so it got to that point. And then when she told me that, I just didn't have anything to say. Because in the back of my mind, I was just processing what she told me, because I had never really had like that conversation about what's LGBTQ plus at the time. I was in middle school, never really knew what it was or what it is and stuff like that at that time, due to me growing up in a very religious household. I was just very ignorant to that type of lifestyle and that type of, just being aware of what your sexuality is, because at the time I wasn't aware of my sexuality at the time, even though I was experiencing what I was experiencing in terms of the sexual abuse or sexual assault, and as well as just developing feelings for females that I would connect with on a mental and emotional and spiritual level. So when she wound up telling me that, I just processed the information and I didn't do anything with it. I didn't tell her at the time that, hey, I'm bisexual too. Excuse me. I didn't tell her anything like that. And then I just didn't say anything. I just said, oh, okay. And then I realized that at the time I realized I had feelings for her when, after she told me that, I would say maybe 2 days later of her telling me that, she went and she had, started dating this other girl. And that's when I felt some type of way, and I felt jealous, because I was like, that should have been me. You should have been dating. But I didn't speak up and say, hey, I'm feeling you and this, that, and the third. Not sure what's going on with me, this, that, and the third, but I know that I'm jealous of you and y'all's relationship, because I should have been your girlfriend, not her. And that's just that. And moving on to, I would say there was another instance where, and this was, like I said, in middle school, and then there was another instance where I was in the 8th grade and I dated, like I said, that's like middle school, like around like 7th grade, I was just like, okay, whatever. But 8th grade came around, and once 8th grade came around, that's when I was like, fuck it. I'm into females and I can't help that anymore, like due to my childhood experiences and due to everything that I've endured. I can't help that. This is who I am. This is what I am, kind of thing. And so I started to date females at the time, like in 8th grade and things like that. And even up until high school, like I started dating females as well. And then as of right now, we're fast forwarding to now. Like, I'm an adult now. I graduated high school a little while ago. Like, I'm in my mid-20s now, so this was like way back when. But now, fast forwarding to now, like, this is my truth. I'm bisexual. I can't help that. Due to my past experiences, this is who I am. This is what I am. And I just would prefer to just stand in my truth and stand on that. I've dated females and males ever since my sexual encounter with an older female child. Ever since that experience happened for me, I've been always interested in females as well. Unfortunately, it wasn't consensual when I was a child, but it's just like, what can you do? Which is why now I do have a child of my own. And so because I have a child of my own, he's not necessarily allowed to go outside by himself. I'm always with him when he's outside, just so that I can protect him. And I always monitor him whenever he is playing with other children, things like that. It's little things like that that I do to protect him, because I don't want him to be sexually assaulted like how I was sexually assaulted when I was a child. And with that being said, that's why I parent him a certain way now, due to the experiences that I had in my past. But moving forward, as an adult, as an adult bisexual woman, I do feel like there's kind of a stigma about bisexual women in terms of us stereotypically, being out there and this, that, and the third, and not being able to be faithful in this, that, and the third. It, in my opinion, being bisexual just means that you're attracted to both males and females, and that's just what I'm attracted to. I'm attracted to both men and women. Now that I'm an adult, I'm attracted to both men and women, and so that's that. And so for me personally, I can be faithful to either a man or a woman because I've dated both males and females. I can be loyal to either or, depending on whoever I'm in the relationship with at the time that I'm in a relationship with them. Because for me, my personal opinion and the way that I am is that everyone's different, but for me, it's about an emotional, mental, and spiritual connection for me. So if I can connect with you up here, then we're locked in. So there's no need for you to feel like stereotypically bisexual people, they're just out there, they're some hoes and this, that, and a third, when that's really not the case for most of us, or at least some of us, or at least not for me. But there's my truth. That was a quick little short story time for when I realized that I'm bisexual and how I move going forward. And within the dating scene, because I'm not really dating like men like that, I'm leaning more towards the women's side, but within the dating scene, I do let it be known that I am bisexual within the dating scene, and within my friends, they know that I'm bisexual as well. And they don't judge me for it, and I just let it be known, and it's out there in the open. And if you don't like me or love me because of my sexuality, then that's on you, because I have to stay true to myself. So thank you all for watching. Let me know down in the comment section if you've experienced anything that I've experienced, or just let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns, or anything like that. And thank you for watching, and may y'all stay safe and have a blessed day. Thank you. Bye.